The traditional Gospel reading for Independence Day is the following passage from the Sermon on Mount. Jesus says, "Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor, and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Be perfect. Love thy neighbor. Love thine enemy. To be perfect means to love. God is love. So, in order to become His true children, we too have to become love. Not just as individuals, but also as the nation, and ultimately as the whole of mankind. God is light, and in Him is no darkness at all. We could also say, God is love, and in Him is no hate at all. Or, God is perfect goodness, and in Him is no evil at all. So must be we. But you may ask, what is love? Or what does it mean to love? The best definition of love that I know comes from St. Thomas Aquinas. To love means to consistently will and choose the good of the other. To love neighbor as self means seeing their sharing in the good as essential of your own sharing in the good. To love God, whose good we cannot will, strictly speaking, as He is purely actualized good itself, is to love what God loves, which is the neighbor's good. So, while love may involve a certain amount of sentimentality and feelings, true love is actually related to will. Loving your enemy in particular requires a very strong will. It is not something for people with a weak character, and should not be ashamed in any way as an expression of weakness. As you probably know, I was born and raised in Estonia during Soviet occupation. I didn't know much about America, let alone its history, until I was about 10 years old and regularly started listening to the Estonian language programs of the Voice of America. One of the first I clearly remember was the reporting on the first inauguration of President Ronald Reagan. In his inaugural address, he spoke of heroism, among other things. He said, "We have every right to dream heroic dreams. Those who say that we are in time when there are no heroes just don't know where to look. You can see heroes every day going in and out of factory gates. Others, a handful in number, produce enough food to feed all of us and then the world beyond. You meet heroes across a counter, and they are on both sides on that counter. There are entrepreneurs with faith in themselves and faith in an idea who create new jobs, new wealth and opportunity. They are individuals and families whose taxes support the government and whose voluntary gifts support church, charity, culture, art and education. Their patriotism is quiet but deep. Their values sustain our national life. This too is love. To dream heroic dreams. And not just to dream, but to make them come true. In his second inaugural address, my favorite president said, "My friends, we live in a world that is lit by lightning. So much is changing and will change, but so much endures and transcends time. History is a ribbon, always unfurling. History is a journey, and as we continue our journey, we think of those who traveled before us. We stand together again at the steps of this symbol of our democracy. We hear again the echoes of our past. A general falls to his knees in the hard snow of Valley Forge. A lonely president paces the darkened halls and ponders his struggle to preserve the Union. The men of the Alamo call out encouragement to each other. A settler pushes west and sings a song, and the song echoes out forever and fills the unknowing air. It is the American sound. It is hopeful, big-hearted, idealistic, daring, decent, and fair. That's our heritage. That's our song. We sing it still. For all our problems, our differences, we are together as of old, as we raise our voices to the God who is the author of this most tender music. And may He continue to hold us close as we fill the world with our sound in unity, affection, and love. One people under God, dedicated to the dream of freedom that He has placed in the human heart, called upon now to pass that dream on to a waiting and hopeful world. God bless you, and may God bless America. This is also my wish to you. I wish you a happy Independence Day. I wish you many blessings from God. I wish you goodwill and love, and that we may be like our Father in heaven, who is perfect in His goodness and love.